Okay, so we're now testing this with narrow view, all the same settings as the super view. So 1/60th or 1/60 shutter speed, and 100 minimum ISO, and maximum of 800. So those are the settings for this low light scenario. When I was looking at this on super view, it looked pretty decent with not a lot of noise. Problem was that it was still very difficult to see me. So I think what needs to happen is, instead of being at 6%, which is what this LED RGB Ulanzi light is at, I think you need to jack it up to like 17% or something like that. So right now it's at 6%. Got cars around here, so want to wait a bit to get that perfect opportunity to turn up or down the light. So yeah, this is what this looks like in narrow view, and this is and also hyper boost, or I didn't say hyper boost. Hyper smooth is on boost, because there are only two settings on narrow view. It's either on or off, and I think when I was looking at this before, when it was on hyper smooth on boost in narrow view, it wasn't turning left and right. But I could be wrong, because I remember seeing this turning left and right before, and that was a huge issue that I thought was something that was sort of inexcusable. So on this turn, when this light turns green, we'll see if the hyper smooth makes it shift left or right based on the electronic stabilization. I think this GoPro's at like 50%, so we'll see how long that lasts too. So did it move left and right? That is the question. So we'll go into autopilot right here, set it for 45, and then we'll adjust this a bit here. Okay, so that's a pretty decent amount of adjustment. Now I really don't want to look in that direction, but I can essentially talk this way without having too much of any issues. I can look at the camera, but I don't really want to be staring at it much, because when it's dark out, it's kind of like ridiculous to look in that direction. I feel like I would have to move the light in a different angle so that I'm not staring directly at it. But there's not really a lot of choices, because obviously you want to be looking directly at the camera when you make the eye contact. So that's what is this at? 20% looks like. So we can move it down from there. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Okay, so this is 15. Turn that off. And then we'll sort of move around from 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. So this is 10. How does that look exposure wise? Obviously you can switch the exposure to even be lower or slightly higher. Its highest is at 800 right now, but I feel like 800 is a good, like when I was looking at the footage on my computer, it was pretty smooth across the board. There wasn't a lot of noise. When I have the ISO bumped up to 6400 or just on auto, the footage is just like garbage. It's all noisy and, you know, very, very difficult to just see anything. Well, you can see everything fine, it's just all very noisy. You can't, you know, it looks very pixelated and not something that I would recommend using. And I don't really consider that usable footage. I mean, I'd use it if I had to, but you know, it's really not what I would consider really good footage. I wouldn't be proud of that type of footage. I would use it if I had to, though. I guess is something that you can know. 6 to 10%. What's the difference? And then 6 to 20%. Does that help the GoPro out a bit more? I know, or at least what was specified in multiple videos that I saw, is that when you set up the GoPro to be this customized, you're supposed to shoot it in super view, because if you shoot it in super view, it gets more information. So the low light would be essentially better. At least that's what some people have said. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but I guess with this footage we'll be able to see the difference, because we'll shoot straight in super view and we'll shoot in linear, or so we'll shoot in super view and narrow, so we'll see the difference between super view and narrow. Alright, and that's enough bright light in my eyes. Okay, another turning test, I guess. Ah, my burrito! Different views. Oh no, there's a train. No! Oh, okay, it's a quick one. It's a quick one. It's all good.